Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is Raven Sky, the founder of the Witch Club Creations. I'm going to start off with Chapter 1 from The Tomb of the Lost Lineages and Magical Knowledge. For as long as I can remember, I've walked with one foot in this world and one in the unseen. Some call it intuition, others a gift, though to me, it has always felt like the path I was born to follow. My life has been stitched together with moments of mystery, whispers in the night that no one heard, visions that came true, dreams that felt more like memories than fantasies. It was only natural that I found my way into the craft. For over 20 years, I have studied, practiced, and honored the old ways. My shelves sag beneath the weight of the grimoires and herbal guides, the air always carrying the faint perfume of sage, lavender, and candle wax. Crystals caught the light in the corners, casting rainbow flecks across the walls, while rows of candles in various sizes stood ready like soldiers on my altar. The room itself was warm and inviting, but it was also timeless. Worn wood, draped fabrics, and shelves crammed with trinkets and bones gave it the air of a much older place. A room that might just as easily belong in the Middle Ages as in the modern world. It was my sanctuary, my scarce place. That night, I sat cross-legged on the rug before my altar, the flicker of the flames painting shadows that seemed too alive. The ritual was supposed to be simple, a protection charm, a strengthening of my circle, something I had done a dozen times before with minor variations. But that night, something went wrong. The air lifted different as soon as I cast the circle, thick like smoke even, through the incense hadn't even been lit yet. My hands trembled as I arranged the crystals in their usual points, but one refused to sit where it should. I sighed, thinking it was just me being clumsy, but the feeling in the room deepened, grew heavier. I whispered the incantation under my breath, my voice steady at first. The candle flames flickered and bent as if listening. Halfway through, the words on my tongue seemed to shift. I don't know how to explain it. The syllables twisted into something older, stranger. Not my language, not any language I knew. The energy surged, snapping like static across my skin. The hair on my arms stood on end. I tried to ground, to break the circle, but it was too late. Panic pricked at the edge of my mind. This isn't right. I've done this ritual before. I know the pattern. My heartbeat echoed in my ears, and I felt the air thicken around me. Shadows bent unnaturally. My chest tightened, each breath sharp and shallow. Part of me screamed to stop, to undo the circle, but another part, something deeper, older, whispered to let it happen. A sudden rush tore through me like a storm breaking inside my chest. My heart hammered, palms damp. Through the air was icy cold. My hands tingled. My skin flickered with the fire and frost at the same time. The flames leaped higher, bending towards me. The room seemed to stretch, breathing, alive, with something ancient. That's when I saw it. At first, a shimmer on the shelf, like heat waves on asphalt. Then a solid outline, leather cracked with age, etched with a strange lettering that seemed to writhe if I looked too long. My eyes watered as though it carried its own light. A book. The moment my eyes fell on it, The air around me seemed to ripple. The shadows stretched and twisted as if alive, pulling me towards it with a force I couldn't resist. My heart skipped, and a shiver ran down my spine, as though the room itself were holding its breath. I stumbled forward, desperate to anchor myself. My hands shook as I touched the cover. The chaotic energy snapped into focus, not gone, but ordered, as if the book had been waiting for me all along. I pulled it down. Its weight was unbearable, heavier than it looked. When I opened it, the pages were blank. My breath caught. Then, as though an unseen hand pressed ink into the parchment, the words bled through. Rome, 4th century. The room blurred, stretching thin like smoke in the wind. My altar, my shelves, my walls, all melted into light. The pressure in my chest burst outwards, and for a moment I was nothing but sound and flame tumbling through some unseen corridor. The floor had given away. Whispers echoed all around me. Latin, or something older still. I smelled smoke and incense, mingling with pine and iron. My body twisted and was weightless, tumbling through the unseen. My hands were no longer my own. Bracelets adore my wrists, skin darker from sun and toil. The candlelight became torchlight. The walls transformed into stone and timber. Hundreds of voices rose in a chant, some welcoming, some accusing, none mine. The very air seemed alive, stinging, with an energy older than memory. I staggered forward, dizzy, realizing I was no longer in my room. Time itself stretched thin, warping, until I was suspended between two worlds. The familiar warmth of my ritual space and this ancient, living reality. The ritual had opened a door, and in that moment, everything I had longed to learn and witness, the knowledge and the visions I had been yearning for, pulled me through without giving me a choice.